You had to click go live. You have to click go live. It's live now. Give it a minute or two. What was the problem?
You have to click a button up here so it's going to go.
David thinks it's funny.
I was reading all the names. And I got all the way.
Sometimes I have one extra spot. So sometimes I'll put.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and students, and welcome to the Lee Athletic Center on the campus of Webb School of Knoxville for the 5-star Preps Classic and for this afternoon's game between the Siegel Stars and the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
I'm recording.
The official for today's games are Jason Ford, Matthew Queener, and Jason Lett. And now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. First, for the Siegel Stars, coached by head coach Darren Birdwell. Starting at point guard, number 0, Zion Swader. Starting at guard, number 3, Jalen Wetzel. Starting at forward, number 11, Martise Jackson. Starting at forward, number 14, Matthew Snyder. And finally, starting at center, number 34, Brennan Marsh. And now for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, coached by head coach Aaron Green.
Thanks a lot. We are live here once again at Webb High School on FM 92.7, prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15, and we are streaming on the internet right now on YouTube, Prep Radio. The starting lineups are being introduced for the Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart, Tim Williams, Isaiah Johnson, along with Jonathan Milloway and Jeremy Miller will be the starting lineup. Is it just me, Cole, or is this PA system very loud?
Oh, it is.
It's hard to really hear myself think, as the Wildcats suffered their first loss last night to Webb, and it wasn't even a close ball game, so hopefully the Wildcats will respond. Siegel also lost to Campbell. They were ahead in their ball game by 11 heading into the fourth quarter, but lost the ball game. It'll be Milloway to jump for them, to jump for the Wildcats. It'll be Brennan Marsh to jump for the Stars, and we're about to get underway. I like the color combination of the Siegel jerseys. They're going to be wearing their all kind of a gray and teal and a little bit, as the ball is easily controlled by Siegel, and we are underway here from Webb. With the basketball will come Zion Swatter. He works the ball, top of the circle, picked up defensively, works the ball to the left side. Wildcats and Siegel Stars just underway here. They're going to drive all the way to the baseline, kick the ball. He stepped right out of bounds, ran right to the baseline and stepped on. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball on their turnover. It's kind of a small gym, for those of you watching on YouTube can see, as the Wildcats work it into Isaiah Johnson. Johnson's going to bring the ball across the line, across the midcourt stripe, picked up defensively by Zion. He works the ball and throws the ball away. Taken away by Siegel. They're going to race coast to coast. Shot is partially rejected, and a foul is going to be called against Jeremy Miller. So both teams, Cole, with turnovers here in the early going.
Yeah, and also that's a foul for Jeremy Miller, first one of the game.
It'll be the Stars going to the free throw line. It'll be Jalen Wetzel, I believe, at the free throw line. First team foul called against Oak Ridge. The first, obviously, against Jeremy. The free throw is good. 1-0. Siegel on top as we broadcast here at Webb. Our final ball game before we start. Get ready for post-Christmas action as the second toss is up good. Stuart Dorman's with us as well. He'll be traveling to Nashville next week for the next level tournament as the Wildcats bring the ball down the floor. Jonathan Milloway pulls up, shoots, off-balance shot, no good. Rebounded by Siegel. Pulled down by Jackson. Jackson swings the ball for a three-point shot from the left wing. It's up, good. Three-pointer made by Matthew Schneider, and the Wildcats are down 5-0. Here comes Oak Ridge. The Wildcats have almost turned the ball over a couple times as Isaiah Johnson brings the ball across the line. Works the ball to his right, comes back to his left, works the ball on a lob down low to Preston Turner, gets the shot up, and it's no good. Tipped and rebounded by Siegel. Coming out with the basketball will come Jackson. Works the ball down the floor. Here's a little 6-footer off the glass. Good. They score with Schneider, and it's 7-0. The Wildcats trail, and here comes the Wildcats down the floor, trying to get their offense going. The Wildcats have missed a couple shots. They work the ball to Preston Turner. Looks down low to Milloway. Doesn't want to lob it over his head. Gives it out to Jeremy Nally into Milloway. Catches it cleanly on the baseline. Gives it out to Jeremy. Thought about a three. Dribbles in. Pulls up. 8-footer is off the rim. Too strong. No good. Looked like over the back there, but no call. Taken away by the Stars. And then a tripping violation is going to be called against Jonathan Stewart. 6:23 to play first quarter. Cole, not a great start here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, right now the Wildcats are 0 for 3 on all their shots, and it looks like they need to slow down their offense a little.
It'll be the Stars with the basketball side midcourt. Oak Ridge playing with Jeremy Miller, Isaiah Johnson, Jonathan Stewart, Jonathan Milloway, and Preston Turner. With the basketball will come the Stars, moving left to right as we broadcast here from the bleachers here at Webb, as the Wildcats almost get a steal and almost a foul against Isaiah. They're going to work the ball in. There's a walk, no call. He works the ball at the free throw line, turning, spinning, kicking it out for a little short one. It's going to be an air ball, rebounded by Preston Turner. Turner pushes it up the floor. Preston had Jeremy early, throws the ball away. Tried to lead him just a little bit too far, and just too far, and it goes out of bounds. 2 minutes into the ball game here, and the Wildcats are down 7. Here comes Siegel facing a little Oak Ridge pressure as Zion works the ball down the floor, picked up by Isaiah Johnson. Works the ball to the midcourt line, harassed, works the ball across the line, over it goes to Wetzel. Wetzel swings the ball to the corner. Could it be 10-0? No, shot is no good. They get the rebound, going to drive back in. There's an offensive foul called against Brennan Marsh. Marsh, their big post player, creams right into the Wildcat defender. It'll be Oak Ridge coming back the other way. 7-0 is our score. 5 minutes and 46 seconds to play. The inbounds pass is lost as they work the ball in for a shot, and a foul's called against Isaiah Johnson. I took my eye off the inbounds just for a second, and I honestly didn't see what happened.
It looks like Jeremy thought Isaiah was going to go back out to the corner for the inbounds, but Isaiah cut back in and the ball just rolled out.
To the free throw line will go the Stars 2 times. 7-0 is our score. 5:43 to play. Not a great start for the Wildcats here at Webb. Free throw is good. 8-0. Siegel on top. Eagle trying to bounce back from their loss to Campbell, Georgia yesterday. It's a good Siegel team. Coach Dyron Birdwell told me that this team was going to be good in the summer, and they are. Oak Ridge basketball. Down the floor, Isaiah Johnson. The ball is knocked out of bounds. Wildcats need to guard their possession a little bit more because Siegel is all over the place. The Wildcats work the ball in. Zion's going to guard Isaiah Johnson. Those two have battled here in the first few minutes. The Wildcats, Isaiah is going to be fouled. Isaiah's got to watch it because he's going to reach in and rip the ball away from him here. Fortunately, he was bailed out with a personal foul right there. 9-0. The Wildcats trail here. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball side midcourt. 5:34 to play first quarter on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. Jonathan Stewart with the basketball, takes his dribble, works the ball to Jeremy Miller. Miller harassed out high, dribbles to the free throw line, cannot shoot from there, has to back it up to Preston Turner. Preston drives in, his shot is up. No good. There was a lot of contact there and no call. Down the floor with the basketball will come Siegel. 9-0 our score. They get the ball across the line. Drive for a three. They won't take it. The ball is deflected, intercepted by Jonathan Milloway. Milloway to Jonathan Stewart. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. Oak Ridge's Isaiah Johnson back to Stewart. Jonathan outside the line, being aggressively defended. Works the ball to Preston. He's a wide open three. It's up. Good. Preston Turner drills one from the right corner, and just like that, the Wildcats are on the board.
Yes, sir. Preston's got 3 points right now, 1 for 3.
Here comes Siegel down the floor. They work the ball to number 11. That'll be Jackson. Works the ball. He lost the ball for a second. Picked up on the floor. Deflection by Oak Ridge's Isaiah Johnson to Jonathan Stewart. Here come the Wildcats down the floor in a 9-3 ball game. Here comes Jeremy Miller driving to the hole, pulling up and shooting. Missed the shot. On the rebound will come the Siegel Stars. With the basketball will come Zion Swatter once again. He kicks the back to Wetzel. Wetzel pulls up, block shot, gets his own rebound, throws it up there, no good, but does draw the foul. It's a very fast-paced start of the ball game here. 9-3, lots of action. Wildcats down by 6, back to the free throw line. That'll be Preston's first foul, team foul number 4. Into the free throw line will go Jalen Wetzel. His first toss is up, good. A lot of action as the Stars will substitute Trayvon Bass in the ball game. Out of the game for them will come number 11, Martise Jackson. Back to the line will come Wetzel. His free throw is good. Oak Ridge basketball, they're also going to substitute Isaiah Lightsey in the ball game. So Siegel doing a lot of substituting early.
They are. It looks like they have some good depth in their bench too, and Jalen Wetzel with 4 points right now, 100% on the field.
Oak Ridge basketball, Jeremy Miller with the basketball to Isaiah Johnson. Bounce pass goes inside to Jonathan Milloway. Didn't catch it cleanly. Goes up for the shot and he draws the foul. Foul's going to be called against Brennan Marsh. Jonathan didn't catch the ball cleanly and had to retreat a step to the baseline and then went up for the shot and got fouled. And Milloway will go to the free throw line. 4:06 to play. First quarter. It's been all Siegel so far. 11-3 the score. Milloway to the free throw line. Tosses on its way up there. Good. Jonathan, a pretty good free throw shooter for a big guy. Makes it an 11-4 ball game as they substitute Jackson back in the ball game. Checking out will go Marsh with his second personal foul. It's good to have him out. He represents their height. He's taller than Jonathan for sure.
Yeah, it looks like he's around 6'10 or 6'9 or something.
Missed free throw by Milloway. Here come the Stars down the floor, moving left to right. They work the ball across the line. With it will come Zion Water. He works the ball left wing, drives on to Schneider. Schneider kicks the ball back out. They can't get a shot off. They back it up to Lightsey. Lightsey then to Trayvon Bass, works the ball in, drives in, throws it off the glass, tip no good, and a foul is going to be called. Foul is going to be called against, I believe, number 23, Isaiah Lightsey. That'll be his first personal foul. Team foul number 4 called against Siegel. The Oak Ridge basketball coming down the floor.
It looks like the refs are paying close attention because there's already been 8 fouls with 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
I would agree with that. Lots of fouls called early as Isaiah brings the ball down the floor. Over it goes to Jeremy Miller. Miller works the ball back to Johnson. Johnson back to Miller. Looking inside. They find Preston. They go backdoor. Nice play. Here's the shot up. Good. And a foul is going to be called. Really nice set play. Just kind of got the baseline drive and got the shot and really kind of rolled around the rim there for a second and finally dropped in.
Yeah, that's 2 fouls for number 10, Trayvon Bass, even though he just got subbed in.
To the free throw line one time ago, Isaiah Johnson. His toss is up there. Good. Completes the three-point play, and the Wildcats are with him 4. 11-7 the score. Here come the Stars down the floor. With the basketball will come Matthew Schneider. He swings the ball across the line. They're going to drive in, and then a holding foul is going to be called against Jeremy Miller, and that'll be his second personal foul. Milloway had his back to the goal, did not realize that the man was coming in behind him so aggressively, and Jeremy just stopped a layup there, but really can ill afford to have him in foul trouble. That's his second, and they're here in the first quarter.
Yes, sir. That's 5 fouls for Oak Ridge and 6 for Siegel right now. It's 11.
Here comes a shot on its way from three-point range. Good. They score with Isaiah Lightsey, and it's back to a 7-point game. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor with Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan across the way has his pass deflected out of bounds. 14-7. Siegel on top as Tim Williams comes into the ball game. Checking out will come Jonathan Stewart. That was the second foul on Jeremy. I'm surprised Coach Green elects to keep him in the ball game right now as the Wildcats will work the ball in with 3:05 to play in the first quarter in a 14-7 ball game. Ball's worked into Milloway around to Miller. Jeremy got it out high by Lightsey. Works the ball top of the circle. 5-second count was on, so he gave it up to Preston Turner. Behind the back dribble. Goes to Isaiah. Isaiah dribbles in, penetrates the paint, goes left side and fires it, intending it, I believe, for Jonathan or one other. It's knocked out of bounds just by the fingertips of one of the Siegel Stars as Oak Ridge will substitute. It looks like Kel Slater will come into the ball game. Oak Ridge currently down 7, 14-7 is our score. The Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal. Stuart Dorman doing our camera work here. Next week he'll be doing color, camera, and stats as the Wildcats work it into Jonathan Milloway, and he throws the ball intending it for Jeremy Miller. It's intercepted and taken away by Siegel. Too many turnovers here. Trayvon Bass with the basketball. Works the ball to number 14. Still wants to shoot from the right block. Backs it up to Jackson. Then he lost the ball. Taken away by Preston Turner. Preston Turner down the floor. He's going to get behind the back. Here it goes to Kel Slater for the shot. Good. Kel Slater knocks it in, and the Wildcats trail by 5. Back the other way will come Siegel. They're going to drive in. Shot partially rejected. Rebounded by Siegel, out of bounds to Oak Ridge. Last touch by the Stars. Lots of action, Cole Adams, in this first quarter. 14-9 is our score.
Yes, sir.
Oak Ridge basketball coming down the floor. 2:20 to play. Did you hear that respect that Cole gave me just now? He said, "Yes, sir, Stewart." You've never said that ever once before. As the Wildcats working into Milloway, catches it on the block, goes in for the shot. Good. Jonathan Milloway drops it in, and it's a 3-point game. 14-11 the score. 2 minutes to play in the first period. Here comes Siegel down the floor. They break the press with Trayvon Bass driving in. He's fouled by Tim Williams. It's a track meet. That's all I can say.
It is, and Milloway looked like a receiver right there, catching it over the rim and then putting it in for an easy layup.
I was looking on the score sheet there. Number, what is that, 35?
Yeah, number 30. Oh, 55? 2 touchdowns. You know my stats this season.
It'll be the Siegel Stars with the ball in the paint. A little fadeaway jumper is up, no good. Jonathan Stewart on the rebound. The Wildcats down 14-11. Then the Wildcats throw the ball away. I think Jonathan was trying to get Tim Williams cutting down the far sideline. Just threw it too far and out of his reach. Dyron Birdwell is the head coach of the Siegel Stars, former assistant coach at Oak Ridge, former teacher at Robertsville. As the Stars bring it across the line, 14-11 the score. They work the ball to the right corner. Kel Slater working very hard defensively as they deny anything inside. They back it up with a pass. Over it goes to Martise Jackson. Pass intercepted Oak Ridge. Preston Turner's got it. Preston picks it up. He's going to drive in. Didn't really have good angle. Goes into Kel Slater for the shot. No good. Rebounded back by Oak Ridge. Saved away by the Stars. Picked up on the floor. Diving for it. Loose ball. Timeout Oak Ridge to save possession. We'll take it with them. 1:15 to play in the first quarter. 14-11 Siegel. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We're back once again to Webb High School. The Wildcats trailing Siegel 14-11. The Oak Ridge basketball side court. Coach Green doing a little bit of, I guess, maintenance work or janitorial work as he wipes up the floor right in front of the scorer's table here. 14-11 the score. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball side court playing with Jonathan Stewart, Jonathan Milloway, Kel Slater, Preston Turner, and Tim Williams. Wildcat basketball. Jonathan trying to work it in, does to Kel Slater. He has to retreat and get it back in the rear court, and he'll bring it back across the line. 1:12 to play first quarter. Oak Ridge down 14-11. Wildcats fell behind, I think it was 9-0. As the Wildcats worked the ball, they had Milloway early. Slater's got the basketball, swings the ball and throws a bad pass. Intercepted by the Stars. They're going to drive in. Here's the shot. Good. They score off the turnover, and the Wildcats have the basketball down by 5. 16-11 the score. Here's Milloway along the block. No place to go but up, and puts up the shot. No good. Didn't have a great angle, and Jackson pulls down the rebound. 43 seconds to play. Down the floor it goes to Schneider. Schneider drives in, throws it up there, and he's fouled. I think they're going to say on Kel, pretty sure, as he comes over to the scorer's table. Say it is against Kel Slater. For Kel, that'll be his first foul. Team foul number 7. 38.9 seconds to play. First quarter, 16-11. Siegel on top. To the free throw line, Matthew Snyder 2 times. Toss, good. Back to a 6-point game. 17-11 the score. Back to the free throw line, Siegel. I like their jerseys. You like their color combination?
I do. It kind of reminds me of the beach.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to describe it. As they substitute, let's see, out of the ball game will go Schneider. Oak Ridge basketball.
Yeah, Schneider had 7 points, 50% on the field.
18-11 our score, back to a 7-point game. 4 straight points for Siegel. Wildcats work it over to Preston Turner. 29 seconds to play. Milloway thought about a baseline jumper, will not take it. Backs it up once again to Preston. Preston Turner swings it over to Tim Williams, who drives in, gives it inside Jonathan Stewart for the shot. Good, and he's fouled. Little quick movement that time by Jonathan Stewart, and he has an opportunity for a 3-point play. 18.5 seconds to play, first quarter. 18-13, Oak Ridge down 5. To the free throw line will go the junior, Jonathan Stewart. We're on FM 92.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. We're streaming the video on YouTube today. Jonathan's free throw is no good. Rebounded by Siegel. Coming down with the board is Lightsey. Lightsey in the rear court. It's got to get the ball across the line. They're going to get it across with a pass to Jackson. Jackson stops in the midcourt circle, swings the ball right side to Trayvon Bass with 5. Dribbles in. There's got to be a charge, and it is. Nicely set up that time by Jonathan Stewart, and the Wildcats will get it with 3.1 second to play here.
Trayvon Bass with 3 fouls already in the first quarter.
And that is the 7th team foul, player control fouls. The Wildcats have 3 seconds to get a shot off, and will Kill do it? He will not. Took too long to get the shot off. He hit it, but it was too late as the first quarter comes to a close. 18-13 our score. The Wildcats trail. We'll be back to Webb in 60 seconds.
Siegel leads 18-13.
Who did you say is torn in Philly?
Welcome back once again to Webb High School. The Wildcats trailing 18-13. Second quarter just underway here. As we broadcast on FM 92.7. The Wildcats have Jonathan Stewart in the ballgame. Jonathan's in a little trouble. Goes all the way to the corner. He's harassed, and a timeout is asked for, I believe. Or I guess he stepped out of bounds. So it's a turn. No, it's a timeout by Oak Ridge. So I thought they said it was going to be a turnover, but it was a timeout. The Wildcats are down 5, 18-13. Lady Wildcats were in action today. They were defeated by Miami Senior High School out of Miami, Florida, by a final score of 58-48. The Lady Wildcats go 2-2 in their trip to Myrtle Beach. The Lady Wildcats opened up play against Mercer County, Kentucky, and they knocked them off. Were defeated by Lebanon in the second round, beat Science Hill yesterday, and today they lose to Miami. So not a bad little trip down there to Myrtle Beach. 4 really quality teams, and the Lady Wildcats will finish 6th in the tournament out of 16, which is not bad at all.
Yeah.
As the Wildcats will work the ball in, Jonathan will lob it in to Isaiah Johnson, who has to catch it across the midcourt line. He'll set it up around a screen by Milloway, and then he's fouled. Foul's going to be called against Zion's Water once again. Is that how you pronounce that?
I think so. Is Zion Swader? I don't know. It can go either way.
It'll be another foul, the 8th team foul. And Swader, that'll be his second foul. It'll be Isaiah Johnson to the free throw line. On the 27th, the Wildcats will be traveling to Nashville to CPA for the 3rd consecutive year. They'll take on CPA as the first toss is missed. Rebound to Oak Ridge. Jeremy Miller goes in for a little 6-footer. Good. Jeremy Miller scores. They didn't get the free throws to drop, but they get the bucket, and Oak Ridge trails 18-15, and then they're going to call a foul. Once again, there's one thing you cannot do, Cole, in this game is take your eye off the floor, because if you do, you're going to miss something. I turned away to look at the roster here, and another foul was called.
Yeah, it was, and that's the second foul for Stewart this game.
That was the 8th team foul called against the Wildcats. 18-15 our score. They've shot the free throws pretty well here early on. Jalen Wetzel's free throw is up good. I was hoping I'd jinx him right there. 19-15 our score. The Wildcats trailing. They fell behind, I believe it was 9-0. Have cut it to as close as 3 as the second toss is up there. Good. Oak Ridge basketball. Some pressure in the rear court as they're working into Isaiah Johnson. Jalen Wetzel will trail him everywhere he goes down the floor. Isaiah works the ball. Left side it goes Miller. Jeremy Miller drives in. Nice pass inside Jonathan Stewart. Stripped of the ball, though. Picked up on the floor by Siegel. Then they knock it out of bounds. Wildcats couldn't hold on to it, but fortunately Siegel couldn't either, and they knocked it out. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal, down 5. 20-15 the score, 7:19 the play. The Walls worked inside to Jonathan Milloway, spinning 6-footer, missed it. Rebound, hard foul. It's going to be called, I believe, against Isaiah Johnson. Wildcats missing a couple point blanks shots there. And that's the 9th team foul, and Isaiah picks up his second. We're not going to have anybody left in this game.
It looks like it's going to be a couple of the bench players versus the other couple bench players.
It'll be the Siegel Stars to the line. It'll be Vontarius Reed going to the free throw line. He was really knocked down hard. He'll have one in the bonus here. Not a big guy, not doesn't weigh much either, but they can shoot free throws. Cole, I mean, they're just knocking down almost every free throw they put up.
Yeah, I think they've only missed one so far this game.
Back to the free throw line he goes. 21-15, the Wildcats trail. 7:14 to play, first half. Toss, good. Down the floor will come the Wildcats. Christian Rosas Rodriguez doing ground camera for us right now. Isaiah Johnson with it, top of the circle. Finds Jonathan Stewart free. 7-point game, 22-17. Here's Isaiah driving in for the shot. Good. Isaiah scores with a driver inside the paint, and the Wildcats are down 22-17. Once again, here come the Stars down the floor. Number 14 swings the ball right side. Inside they go in for the shot. Good. Not great defense there as Matthew Schneider puts it in. It's back to 24-17. Schneider's a good player.
Yeah, right now he's got 9 points. He's only missed 2 shots.
Here comes Oak Ridge. They need this one as they get in for a shot, missed it, and rebounded back up good. That time Schneider did not want to foul Milloway. As Schneider's wide open, he's going to drive in for the shot. He lost his dribble, picks it up, goes in for the shot. No good. Jeremy Miller on the rebound. Oak Ridge down 5. Here comes Jeremy down the floor. Giving it up right side, driving Preston Turner to the hole. No good. Rebounded by Jeremy Miller, up good. Miller scores, and it's a 3-point game again. 24-21 the score. Here comes Siegel against full court pressure. They work the ball across the way. Here it goes to Wetzel. Wetzel going coast to coast, slings it off to the left side. Here comes Schneider, thought about a 3, dribbles to the free throw line, throws the ball away. Out of the fingertips of Jalen Wetzel, out of bounds. 24-21 in a fun ball game to watch, Stuart.
Yeah, David, for sure. A great matchup, and also cool to see a former Oak Ridge coach with Darren Birdwell on the other side.
Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor with it. Will come the Wildcats. That'll be Jeremy Miller to Isaiah Johnson. The Wildcats also have Tim Miller in the ball game. Jonathan Stewart and Kai Hirsch has checked into the ball game. Oak Ridge down 3, 24-21. Oak Ridge's Tim Williams out to Isaiah. Isaiah has Tim in the right corner. He's a good 3-point shooter. 5-second count is on. He's got to break it off, but now he breaks it for a second. Isaiah dribbles right, lost the ball. Too much dribbling there. Isaiah just dribbled way too much right there. There's a charge. It's got to be. Charge is going to be called against Jalen Wetzel. Tim Williams just stood there and waited for him to crash into him. 24-21 the score. Coach Birdwell arguing, and he's going to a warning, a sideline warning has been warned by Queener to Birdwell, to the assistant coach, said something to the official, Queener, and it'll be Oak Ridge basketball coming down the floor. 24-21 the score. It's a very physical ball game, but it's very entertaining.
It is, especially the coaches are getting into it now too, and making the refs a little angry.
Here comes Isaiah Johnson spinning right side. Tim Williams for 3, no good. Rebound to the Stars. Here they come down the floor. Driving all the way in, shot no good. Tim Williams commits the foul and stops the layup. Wildcats have cut it to 3. That's as close as they've been. 24-21 the score. You know, if you compare our court to this court looks smaller, honestly. Maybe because of the confined space of the arena itself, as the free throw is good. And the Wildcats are down by 4 again, 25-21. It just looks smaller.
It does. The Oak Ridge gym is massive, honestly. Like, it's fun to go through and gym and to practice for football, too.
26-21 the score, 5-point game. David Clary along with Cole Adams, Stuart Dorman, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Brian Bennett at the station. Kai Hirsch from 15 feet out, no good. Not really the best shot there for him to take as they work the ball down the floor. 26-21 the score. With the basketball will come Martise Jackson. He works the ball back out. They work along the right block. There's a shot up. No good. Kai Hirsch commits the foul. 11th team foul called against Oak Ridge. Once again, a shooting violation will send Matthew Schneider to the free throw line. The Wildcats playing with Kai Hirsch, Jeremy Miller, Isaiah Johnson, Jonathan Stewart. Tim Williams is in there. I think Jonathan Milloway is about to come in for Kai. As the Schneider goes to the line, tosses short. 26-21 the score. Here comes Milloway into the ballgame. I think Coach Green's pulling him. I don't think he really liked that shot selection, to be honest with you. And I think that's why he pulled him out. Kind of took a little jumper from just inside the free throw line. Back to the free throw line we go Matthew Schneider. 26-21, Siegel on top. Toss, good. Back to a 6-point game. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. With it will come Isaiah Johnson. Johnson works the ball across the midcourt line. Sets against the zone. Continues to dribble and dribble. Works the ball to the top. Gives it off Jonathan Stewart. Around left side, Jeremy Miller drives in. Pulls up. 8-footer is no good. Can't get that one to fall. They pull down the rebound with Marsh. Here come the Stars down the floor. They can once again up their lead as they work the ball to Marsh. He's got the ball on the right block against Milloway. Drives in, pulls up, shoots, blocked. Milloway on the rebound to Isaiah Johnson. Johnson's going coast to coast with it, all the way to the hole. No good. Tip back up. Good. Jonathan Stewart puts it in. It's a 4-point game. 27-23 the score. The Wildcats still pressing. There's a walk. He's going to call a block. It was a walk, Queener, long before the foul. Queener's not having a good day here right now. Both coaches onto him. He actually walked before he hit Tim.
Yeah, it looks like he walked, and also that's Timmy's third foul. And he actually didn't get that much playing time during the first quarter, so it goes to show how much the refs are watching.
27-23, Schneider back to the free throw line. 4 minutes to play. Free throws, good. Man, they've got a ton of points at the free throw line. Back to the free throw line will go Matthew Schneider. 28-23, a 5-point lead for the Siegel Stars out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Free throw, miss. Rebound, Jonathan Stewart. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. Jonathan works the ball across right side, Isaiah Johnson. Dribbles to the right corner, looks to Milloway, can't get the ball to him, backs it up once again. 3:52 to play, second quarter, 28-23. Miller, Jeremy with it, free throw line, no place to go. Now we'll drive, now we'll kick it out. Tim Williams for three, they need it. It is no good. Gets his own rebound, drives in, goes inside to Milloway. Milloway, one dribble, might have walked, goes in for the shot, no good. Needed to use the backboard a little bit that time, just didn't take a great angle at it. And back the other way will come Siegel. The Wildcats had a chance right there. Let it go by the boards. They work the ball down low. Can't get a shot off. They're going to spin, kick the ball back out. Schneider dribbles with Miller in his face. He works the ball left side to Swader. Swader back to the top of the circle to Jackson. Jackson to Marsh, looks to Schneider, swings the ball back out to Swader. 3:09 to play. Around the left side it goes to Wetzel. He lobs the ball down low. A little help needed there. Here's a little jumper. It's up good. That guy can play. Matthew Schneider, and the Wildcats are down 7. The Wildcats have had some opportunities, Cole, but they just haven't been able to take advantage of them. The closest they've gotten is 3.
Yeah, now it's 30-23. It looks like they started picking up their offense again, and Snyder right now has 12 points for the quarter, with most of them being free throws.
Jonathan Stewart for 3, good. 3-point shot for Jonathan Stewart, big shot for him. It's a 4-point game. 30-26, 2:35 to play. Here come the Stars down the floor. They'll kick it out. Schneider, he thought about a 3. Backs it up the left side of Wetzel. Wetzel works the ball to his right. Now comes back to the top of the circle. Alley goes to Jackson, and the ball's kicked. It's going to be Siegel basketball. Hardly any time to rest in this one. 2:23 to play. Second quarter, 30-26 is our score.
You can tell they're subbing a lot because it's basically a track meet out here.
Here come the Stars to work the ball in. They do, and it comes to Swader. Swader harassed out high by Oak Ridge's Preston Turner. He works around a screen set by Jackson, works the ball for a 3, blocked, and it's going to be taken away, and a shot good. Actually, Jeremy fouled him. The Wildcats were turning around. It had not turned around to rebound it, and they, assuming the shot was going to go in, I guess, and they had their backs turned, and that was an easy bucket for them. Here come the Wildcats. Miller with it. Jeremy's going to call a timeout. 1:53 to play in the second quarter. We'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian. Wildcats trail 32-26, back in 60 seconds. We are back here at Webb High School, 32-26 to score. Wildcats in a 6-point game. And down the floor of the basketball will come the Wildcats.
Number 2, Jonathan Stewart, his third.
On the internet, we stopped just for a second, having a little technical issues on the radio side. 34-26 to score. Free throws good. And Siegel up to a 9-point lead once again, 35-26, 54 seconds to play in the first half here at Webb High School. Here come the Wildcats down the floor once again. With it will come Oak Ridge's Isaiah Johnson. Works the ball across the line. Dribbles out to the top of the circle. Continuing to dribble. Dribbles out to the right. Wildcats down with 42 seconds to play. Here it goes. Preston Turner lost the dribble. Grabbed on the floor. Picks it up. Gives it off to Kell. Wants to get the ball inside to Milloway. Cannot. Back it goes Isaiah around to Jeremy Miller along the baseline. 6-footer is good. Jeremy Miller scores. And the Wildcats trail 35-28. Here comes Siegel down the floor with 23 seconds to play. They work the ball to the top of the circle. Midcourt circle, 17 seconds to play, 35-28 the score. Going for the final shot here. 11 seconds, I'll get the radio going here in a second as they work the ball out to the top of the circle. They work the ball to Schneider. Schneider thought about a 3 seconds, 2 seconds. At the buzzer, no good. First half is over. 35-28 the score. Take a break, we'll be back in a moment.
35-28.
Sorry about that. We are back here at Webb High School. Had a little technical issue with our radio. Halftime is here with us as the Wildcats currently trail 35-28. Cole, Wildcats had some opportunities. As I mentioned, they closed the gap on a couple occasions to 3, but they never really could get over the hump, and they trail now by a score of 35-28.
Yeah, some of the key contributors for points. Jeremy Miller only has 6, and Millway has 5. Isaiah Johnson only has 5, and Stewart's only has 5 right now as well. So it just looks like we don't have our key scorers scoring a lot. And Jalen Wetzel and Matthew Snyder, 16 and 14 points. So just an impressive offense by the Siegels.
Siegel's a good team. They're 7-3 on the year. They have some impressive victories. Their losses, I mean, they lost to Blackman, which is no slouch. They lost to Campbell, Georgia, and they lost to Mount Juliet, I believe. But they have some pretty impressive wins. It's a really good, talented team.
Yeah, it looks like it. They have a lot of athletes, and it looks like a lot of three-point shooters too. They get a lot of difficult rebounds, which is very impressive as well.
If you just tuned in, the Lady Wildcats were in action today down in Myrtle Beach. They lost their final ball game. Final score of the game was 58-48. Lady Wildcats losing to Miami Senior High School out of Miami, Florida. And Lady Wildcats go 2-2 in Myrtle Beach. Tough tournament. I mean, there were a lot of tournaments. In our hotel, there was 36 different high school girls basketball teams with us, and it was a really, really big hotel, obviously, but all night long. I know how you teenagers are. They were all night long. There was people going up and down the hall, but they had a good time. And the Lady Wildcats actually, I said this to somebody, it seemed like it was the other teams that were out and about. Our girls seemed to be very focused and never seemed to be out of their rooms much, but I'm sure Coach Redmond had a lot to do with that. But they lose their ball game today, 58-48. The next Lady Wildcat ball game will be the day after Christmas. It'll be a 1 o'clock game in Greenville as a part of the Andrew Johnson Bank Ladies Classic. They'll play Cobb County 1 o'clock on the 26th of December. We'll have the broadcast for you on the internet, and we'll stream the video as well on YouTube. And that'll be the 26th of December up in Greenville against Cobb County. After tonight, the Oak Ridge boys will be in action in Nashville against CPA on the 27th of December. They'll take on CPA, the home host school of that tournament, at 9 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be the start time for the CPA Oak Ridge game, and that'll be on the 27th of December. We are here at Webb High School. We appreciate you listening to our broadcast wherever you might be. If you're listening to us on the internet on prepradio.com, or if you're watching the live video stream on YouTube, you can go, if you're not, you can go to YouTube and search for Prep Radio. We are there. You can just search for Oak Ridge versus Siegel. We're also on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, and Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. We appreciate David Kolodny. He's back at the station right now at Channel 15, making sure the video is online here, even though the school, and he's a school teacher, that they're on Christmas break. So that's dedication, is it not, Cole?
Oh, yeah, it is. We could say a lot about that in football, dedication.
35-28 the score. Let's talk about football. What are you guys doing right now? Is it in the weight room, or have you taken a little time off?
We did max outs this week for power clean, squat, and bench, and something we haven't done yet. Or like in the previous years, we did deadlift this year, which was pretty fun to watch for some people.
About a month and a half away from the end of the season, looking back on it, what will you have to do better this next coming year to advance farther in the playoffs?
For me personally, I need to gain like 10 more pounds to compete for against like big running backs like Isaiah Mattress, who run up the middle constantly. For a team, I think we can do better with leadership and communication, which would be very nice to see. And also, we could work on, honestly, everything. We can work on everything to maybe just be a better team, go way longer in the playoffs, and win state.
And you'll open with Hardin Valley in the first game of the year again. That game will be at Hardin Valley. That'll be in August. Seems like a long time, but it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I remember my first time I dressed out, it was at home against Hardin Valley. It was fun.
We're talking to Cole Adams. He's a member of the Oak Ridge football team and member of our broadcast team as well. Stuart's with us as well. Stuart Dorman, Christian Rosas Rodriguez as well, doing our camera work. Brian Bennett back in the studios of FM 92.7. Let's go back to basketball here. The Wildcats find themselves down right now 7 at the halfway mark. Fell behind 9-0, have closed the gap several occasions, 3 different times to 3 points. Haven't been able to get over the hump. Foul trouble has been an issue for both teams. Lots of free throws. They hit a lot of free throws, and they account for a lot of their scoring, honestly, Cole.
Yeah, Jalen Wetzel, he went 8 for 8 on free throws, and that accounts for 8 of his points, which is very impressive. And Matthew Schneider went 6 for 6 on his free throws, or 6 for 7, my bad. Only missing 1 point there, but great free throw shooting.
And so the Wildcats are just going to have to stay out of not foul them, not turn the ball over, and make some shots. They missed a few point-blank shots in the paint. I know that Coach Green was a little upset with. One thing that Coach Birdwell told me this morning, he told me that his team in the last 4 games has had a double-digit lead heading into the fourth quarter, and they've lost 2 of them. So that's a positive statistic for us. Not so great for him, but we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah, only down by 7 right now. That's something you can overcome pretty easily in 1 quarter. But with this Siegel offense and defense, it's gonna be fun to watch.
35-28 is our score. We'll take a break. The second half is going to start in about 3 minutes, so we'll take a 3-minute break. We'll be back to Webb High School in 3 minutes. Welcome back once again to Webb High School. The Siegel Stars get the ball first, and they get a layup to start the third quarter. 37-28 the score. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. Oak Ridge basketball. Here it comes to Isaiah Johnson. Johnson, Jeremy Miller, Jonathan Stewart, Jonathan Milloway, and Preston Turner. The starting five here in the second half. The start of the ball game as Oak Ridge drives to the hole. Preston Turner reverse layup. Good. Preston Turner hits the bucket. It's 37-30. Here come the Stars down the floor. Working the ball to the midcourt line. Across the way, they give it up in the corner. They're going to drive the baseline. There's a travel. Travel is going to be called against Martise Jackson. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. 7-point game, 37-30 the score, 7:19 to play here in the third period at Webb High School. In a game you're listening to live on FM 92.7, FM 94.7. PrepRadio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. We're also on YouTube as the Wildcats cannot control a pass. It was a lob down to Jonathan Milloway. That was an easy two right there. He just couldn't catch it.
Yeah, I wish there was a turnover call in second right. How many turnovers they have? I think it's close to 13 or 12 or something.
It's high as they work the ball across the line. The Wildcats are down 7. Schneider for 3. No good, but he's fouled in the act of shooting a 3 by Oak Ridge's Jonathan Stewart. Coach Green not too happy with the way this game is playing out here, and you never like to foul a shooter, especially this guy, in the act of shooting a 3, and Matthew Schneider's about to get 3 tosses.
Yeah, right now he's got 18 points for the game. We'll see how this goes right here.
He'll have 3 here, 37-30 the score. Free throw is no good. So he missed that one. 7 minutes to play third quarter. Wildcats playing with Jeremy Miller, Jonathan Milloway, Preston Turner. As Schneider goes back for his second attempt, it's good. He'll have another one. Tim Williams is going to come into the game. That'll be his, he's going to come in with at least 3 fouls. As Jonathan had to come out, as Schneider goes back to the line, his toss is no good. So, kind of worked out okay. They only scored 1 as Jeremy Miller brings the ball down the floor. Here it goes to Preston Turner. Preston to Isaiah, thought about a 3, works the ball, nice pass. It was a good idea trying to get into Jeremy Miller, but there's another turnover there. It was a good idea as they walk in and missed a shot anyway. Here comes Oak Ridge with it. Down the floor with it, Oak Ridge. Tim Williams with it. He kicks the ball back out to Johnson. Isaiah with it, 38-30. Oak Ridge down 8. 6.5 minutes to play. 5-second count is on. Isaiah breaks. Goes inside Jonathan Milloway for the shot. Oh, got to hit those shots. Point blank. And then the Wildcats give the ball back up to the Siegel Stars. 38-30 the score, and they throw the ball away. Jonathan Milloway, you can see he's frustrated. He got the ball right on the block and went inside. That was a layup off the glass, just a little bunny, just wouldn't go in.
Yeah, right now Milloway is 2 for 6 on the, or no, sorry, 2 for 9 on the field. So, yeah.
Here comes Jeremy Miller off the glass shot. Good. Jeremy scores and makes it a 6-point game. 38-32 the score. Here come the Stars down the floor. They throw the ball across the line. They've got numbers. They work in for a shot. No good. Tim Williams commits another foul. Another personal foul called against Williams. That'll send Siegel to the line. 38-32. We are a foul machine in this game. As they go to the free throw line, it'll be 2 shots again. Second foul, team foul. 4th foul called against Tim Williams. Free throw is good.
Yeah, right now Timothy Williams has 4 fouls.
And he comes out of the ball game. Kel Slater's come into the ball game. Oak Ridge trails by 7, 39-32. Jalen Wetzel to the free throw line. Toss, good. Oak Ridge basketball. In it comes Isaiah Johnson. Ball is knocked out of bounds, fortunately, by Martise Jackson. If you saw that sudden movement on the camera just for a second, that was Stuart Dorman, as the Wildcats will work the ball in. 5:52 to play. Third quarter, Oak Ridge down by 8. Isaiah works the ball across the line, driving with it. Preston Turner goes in for the shot. No good. Tip back up. No good. Again, knocked out of bounds, and a foul is going to be called. Didn't see it. It's going to go against Siegel, I believe. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal. 5:41 to play, and it'll be Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal. Coach Birdwell wanted to know what the foul was. As the Wildcats working in Jeremy Miller inside Jonathan Milloway, turning on the right block. Shot is up, no good. Got hit on the right arm right there, but no foul. I guess that's okay. No blood, no foul. As they work the ball across the line, here it goes to Swader. Wildcats down 8, 40-32 as they work the ball in. Here comes Big Marsh for the shot. It's up, and it's good. Wasn't pretty, but he's tall, and it's a 10-point game. Oak Ridge down 42-32. They push it up the floor. Down the floor will come Preston Turner. He's stripped of the ball. Loose on the floor. There's a walk. There's no possession. They called a timeout. There was no possession. And then he teased him up. He teased Coach Green up. He's always had a short temper. He was sliding down the floor with you cannot have possession. You cannot have possession if you're sliding on the floor to call a timeout. So they call the technical, bad call by the official. Hopefully his supervisor will be here to watch the absolute terrible call. He is saying there was a travel. Then how can you have possession? There's no explanation that works here at all. You are wrong, sir. You are wrong. As the Wildcats are down by 10. It'll be the technical free throw. He missed it. I mean, he flat out made a mistake. And people are human, but the closest official, Queener, was standing right over the play as the free throw is up and good.
Right now, Jalen Wetzel is 10 for 10 on free throws. We're about to see his 11th shot, and good. 11 for 11.
Wow, that's crazy. As the Wildcats are down 12 here, 44-32 the score. Everybody in the gym except one individual. I think he honestly knows he made a mistake, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it looks like it. I don't think he had a great explanation for Coach Green because he doesn't look satisfied at all.
Their basketball, 12-point game. 44-32 the score. With the basketball will come Marsh. Marsh with the basketball. Brennan Marsh dribbles to the right extension of the free throw line. Works the ball to Schneider. Schneider guarded by Miller. Throws the ball away. Intercepted by Preston Turner. Preston Turner running the floor coast to coast. Goes up. And a travel is going to be called against him. And I thought that Queener might call a technical on Preston there, but I think he was more mad at himself than the call as the Stars will work the ball down the floor, 44-32. It was a close ball game. 4:44 to play. The Wildcats need some stops. They've gotten some stops, honestly, on defense. They just haven't been able to convert. Here's a long three. No good. Rebound Oak Ridge. Kel Slater with it. Wildcats down the floor. Oak Ridge's offense struggling right now to get on track. Here is Kel, works the ball inside of Milloway. Milloway turns with his back to the goal, goes up for the shot. No good. Just won't drop for him. And down the floor will come zero. All the way in, a little finger roll by Swader is good. And the Wildcats are down 46-32. Wildcats are getting some good looks, Cole. They're just not getting anything to fall.
Yeah, right now Milloway's 2 for 13 on layups.
Foul's going to be called against Siegel. Stars fans are not in agreement, but I think there was some contact there. Oak Ridge down 46-32. 4:05 to play. The Wildcats lost their first ball game. Coach Green's still continuing the conversation with the same official as Oak Ridge goes to the free throw line with Kel Slater. Free throw on its way up there. Good. 46-33 the score. Coach Green is continuing this conversation. Probably just needs to give it up because he's going to be whistled for another technical, and that means he's out of the gym and has to leave. So the toss is on its way up there. It's no good. 46-13, the Wildcats. Watching them drive in for a shot. Blocked by Milloway. Taken away by Oak Ridge's Kel Slater. Oak Ridge down 46-33. With the basketball will come Preston Turner. 3:53 to play third quarter. Bad pass. Preston tried to get it to Milloway. It's knocked out of bounds, though, by the Stars. Wildcats are going to get Flip Thompson into the ball game for the first time, and Preston is going to check out. 46-33, the Wildcats trailing. 3:48 to play in the third quarter. It has not been a good third quarter, that's for sure, for the Wildcats. As Oak Ridge works the ball in, and it comes to Jonathan Milloway. Milloway holds it, gives it over to Isaiah Johnson. Attacks to the free throw line, cannot shoot. Flip well for three. It's on its way. No good. Rebound, Milloway back up with a shot. Good! And he's fouled. Count the bucket, and Jonathan Milloway will have an opportunity for a three-point play. And boy, they needed that really big.
Yeah, he's got 7 points for the game. Maybe after this he'll have 8.
He'll go to the free throw line. The Wildcats Flip Thompson came in just for a second, launched a three, and that's what he does. He's a really good shooter from the outside as Jonathan Milloway goes to the free throw line. 46-35 the score. Third foul called against Marsh. Toss is good. Jonathan's a really good free throw shooter. Back to a 10-point game, 46-36. 3 minutes, 36 seconds to play in the third period. Schneider will work the ball in, and it comes to number 23, Isaiah Lightsey. Lightsey walks the ball. Pass intercepted by Flip Thompson. And then he has the ball knocked away and a foul called. Wildcats get the turnover. Flip comes in, gets a turnover immediately. And the fourth foul called against the Stars as a team. It's going to go against Swader. That's his third as the Wildcats working into Jeremy Miller. Tacks inside, 6-footer, no good. He draws the foul and will go to the free throw line. Foul, I believe, is going to be called against number 23, Isaiah Lightsey. And let's see. That'll be his second foul. Jeremy Miller will go to the free throw line. 3 minutes, 23 seconds to play, third quarter. 46-36, the Wildcats down 10. Jeremy's free throw is good.
Jeremy's 1 for 1 on free throws right now with 9 points.
Back to the line he goes. That was the smooth voice of Cole Adams up here in the bleachers. We've got Stuart Norman here with us as well. And Christian Rosas Rodriguez. Free throw is good by Jeremy. And here comes the Wildcats with Isaiah Johnson almost getting a steal, and he does. Knocks it off the body of one of the Stars, and I think this guy honestly thought that Oak Ridge touched it, but after the problem he had with Coach Green a moment ago, he just let it go.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have much say anymore after that one controversial call.
Jonathan misses a shot, gets the rebound, misses again, and then a foul is going to be called. Wildcats, I don't think I've ever seen Jonathan miss as many point-blank shots as he is in this game.
Yeah, right now he's 3 for 14.
Wow. He was fouled. We'll go to the free throw line. That was the third foul called against Isaiah Lightsey. And the Siegel fans are saying over the back, could have been. So Wildcats go to the free throw line. This crew is working their second ball game consecutively. It's nothing unusual for them as Milloway's free throw is no good. 46-38, the Wildcats trail here. 3:09 to play. And back to the free throw line we go, Jonathan. He's a junior. They list him as 6'7". Toss is no good. Rebounded by the Stars. Siegel coming out of there quickly with the basketball. With it will come Isaiah Lightsey. Lightsey top of the circle to Reed. Kicks the ball back to the top. Working the ball around the perimeter to Schneider. Schneider guarded by Isaiah. Might have been fouled by him. Throws up a 6-footer. It's no good. Rebounded by Jeremy Miller. Wildcats push it up the floor to Flip. Flip Thompson waits for his teammates. Needs help. Goes inside intending it for somebody. Flip's got it on the floor. Gives it off to Jonathan Milloway. And Oak Ridge calls a timeout to save possession. You talk about a mad scramble right there. Ball was loose on the floor. Everybody on the floor, I think, got their hands on it. And eventually Oak Ridge called a timeout.
That looks like the second loose ball Flip's got a handle of. It looks like he's got a nod for that.
Appreciate our sponsors for our broadcasts. Ronnie and Becky Hayes are sponsoring our Christmas time tournaments. We appreciate them, along with our normal sponsors. Of course, at Oak Ridge Utility District, 10 Bank of Oak Ridge, the Oak Ridge Pharmacy, and Mortgage Investors Group. We are live at Webb. Our next broadcast, our next radio broadcast will be from CPA in Nashville. That'll be a 9 o'clock Eastern time ball game as a part of the Next Level tournament in Nashville. That'll be a 9 o'clock Eastern time against CPA on the 27th. Our next prep radio broadcast and next streaming broadcast on YouTube will be coming up on the 26th of December when the Lady Wildcats travel to Greenville to take on Cocke County. Oak Ridge basketball down 46-38, 2:39 to play. It's been a fun game to watch, very physical, as the Wildcats will play with Kel Slater, Jeremy Miller, Isaiah Johnson, Jonathan Milloway, and Flip Thompson. Oak Ridge basketball, Isaiah Johnson with it, 2:36 to play, third quarter, 46-38. Isaiah has the ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by the Stars. Kel's a sophomore. having to play a lot more action because Tim Williams is on the bench with 4 fouls. The Wildcats working in Isaiah. Isaiah Johnson dribbles in, gives it back to Kell. In trouble, lobs it down the flip. It's too high for him. He tries to save it, and he cannot. Pass was just a little bit too high. A turnover there by Slater. I think somebody's going to have to come in. That's going to be Preston Turner for Kell Slater. Actually, it's going to be Flip coming out of the ball game, and kind of surprised at that. 2:22 to play. Their basketball, they easily worked the ball in. The Wildcats didn't match up. They get a layup. The Wildcats did not get in position for that, and Coach Green is not happy. 48-38 the score. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor with the basketball. Isaiah Johnson, 48-38. Wildcats down by 10. 2:06 to play third quarter. Jeremy Miller wants to take his man to the free throw line, has to back it up. Looks to Milloway, feeds him at the right block. Against Marsh, goes in for the shot, good. Jonathan Milloway takes it off the glass, and the Wildcats are down 8 again. 48-40. Once again, they break the press with ease. Wildcats watch them set up their offense. A minute 46 to play third quarter. 48-40 Siegel on top of Oak Ridge. Where the basketball will come, number 4, that'll be Lontarius Reed. He works the ball left side to Trayvon Bass. Back to the top of the circle. Around it goes to Reed. They work the ball, looking for Schneider if they can get the ball to him. Being harassed everywhere he goes by Slater. Good defense by Oak Ridge, kind of causing them to kind of get out of their offense.
That's an interesting matchup for Milloway. It looks like he's guarding a guard right now based off their picks and rolls for like switching and stuff.
Schneider with the basketball, lost it out of bounds. Got the ball down low to Wetzel. His feet were moving before he took the ball with him, and Schneider comes out of the game. Let's take advantage of this minute 12 without Schneider in the ball game. 48-40 the score. The Wildcats trailing by 8.
Yeah, Schneider comes out with, looks like he has 19 points, and then Jaden Wetzel with 18.
Down the floor with the basketball will come the Wildcats. Isaiah Johnson, minute 7 to play, walks the ball across the line, gives it off to Miller, to Preston Turner. Comes cross court with it to Isaiah, around to Slater. Throws the ball inside to Jonathan Milloway, into Miller. Can't control the pass. Good play set up, but Jeremy just couldn't catch it. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Stars. 50 seconds to play. Wildcats had a chance to cut it even further there. Weren't able to do so. With the basketball, Trayvon Bass works the ball left side to 0. That's Swader in the ball game once again. 48-40 the score. 36 seconds to play in the third quarter. Playing for the final shot, the Wildcats stay back on defense, so they're going to allow them to dribble out here until the final shot is taken. 25 seconds to play. The Wildcats playing with Kell Slater, Jeremy Miller, Isaiah Johnson, along with Jonathan Milloway and Preston Turner. 16 seconds to play. They're going to start their play in motion right about now. With the basketball, they'll drive. Penetrating all the way in. There's a travel. Oak Ridge steals it. 4 seconds. Isaiah Johnson all the way to the hole. He scores! As the third quarter comes to a close. 3 quarters of basketball in the books. The Wildcats are down 6. 48-42. We'll be back to Webb in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Webb High School. The fourth and final quarter underway. The Wildcats are currently down by 6, 48-42. Really haven't played that well. as the Wildcats have the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Isaiah Johnson, 5-second count is on him, works around a screen, dribbles to the hole, goes in for the shot, and scores. Isaiah Johnson off the glass, and the Wildcats are down by 4. 48-44 the score. Down the floor with the basketball, trapping in the rear court, Swader. He gets the ball to the midcourt line. With the basketball, it goes off to Jalen Wetzel. The Wildcats down by 4. 48-44. They've closed the gap from double digits to 3 on 2 different occasions. It's down to 4 right now. Good defense there by Oak Ridge. 7:18 to play. The Wildcats right back in the ball game.
Yeah, that was a great steal by Stewart to slow down their offense. We'll see how this possession goes, and kind of determine how the rest of the fourth quarter will go.
7:18 to play in the game. 48-44 the score. Ball's worked in, then it comes to Marsh. Marsh holds the ball, takes one dribble, gives it off to Swader. Swader dribbles to the free throw line, throws one up there. It's no good. Not a good shot. Rebounded by Milloway. Wildcats running 3-on-2. Layup. Preston Turner knocked out of bounds by a hustling Jalen Wetzel, who got down the floor. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal, down 48-44. 7 minutes to play in the basketball game. Jonathan Stewart works the ball in, and it comes Jeremy Miller. Almost walks, holds it on his pivot foot, dribbles in, penetrates, goes back door, goes all the way in for the shot, does Isaiah Johnson. Shot good. 2-point game. The Wildcats are down 48-46. Here come the Stars down the floor. Swader in the rear court, breaks the trap, works the ball down the floor to the midcourt line, gives it up to Wetzel. Closest the Wildcats have been since the first quarter. Here's Marsh, pass intercepted by Milloway. Milloway and the Wildcats with it. 48-46, the Wildcats, Jeremy Miller. Here comes a dunk, no, he lays it in, and we are tied. 48-48 the score. The Wildcats have come all the way back. 48-48 the score. Here comes the Stars down the floor. 6:18 to play. They work the ball across the line with Swader. He works the ball to the left side to Schneider. Guarded out high by Jeremy Miller. 48-48 the score. They're going to drive in. Shot is on its way. No good. Foul called against Oak Ridge. That'll be a 2-shot foul, and Schneider will go to the free throw line. 48-48 the score. 6:06 to play. It was at least a 10-point lead. I remember a 12-point lead as well, and now we're tied.
That's the 11th free throw. This will be the 12th free throw for number 14, Schneider. Let's see if he can capitalize off of it.
To the free throw line he goes. First of 2 is good. Second toss in a moment. 49-48 the score. 49-48 the score. Siegel back by 2. Oak Ridge basketball. Wildcats working in Isaiah Johnson. The Wildcats lob it across to Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan turning, spinning, gives it into the Wildcats. Preston Turner, saved by Jeremy. Head fakes, drives in, penetrates, cannot shoot. Wildcats down 50-48. Now Jeremy's going to go to the hole and tie it again. Jeremy Miller off the glass, and we're tied 50-50 the score. Down the floor of the basketball will come the Siegel Stars. The Wildcats working hard defensively. They fork the ball along the baseline. Here's a shot blocked by Milloway, saved by Preston, and then knocked out of bounds by the Wildcats. 5:37 to play in the game. 50-50 the score.
Yeah, that was a really good play by Milloway. Let's see if he can keep that up. And a turnover for the Stars.
The inbounds is just a bounce pass that skipped out of bounds. It'll be Oak Ridge with a chance to take the lead here. 50-50 the score. The Wildcats playing with Jeremy Miller, Isaiah Johnson, along with Jonathan Milloway, Preston Turner, and Jonathan Stewart. Here come the Wildcats setting up their offense with 5:29 to play. Jeremy Miller harassed by Schneider. Gets a screen, lobs it down low to Milloway along the right side of Preston Turner. Inside it goes Jonathan Stewart for the shot. No good. Tip back up. Good. Jonathan Milloway hits the shot, and he's fouled. Has an opportunity for a 3-point play. Oak Ridge on top, 52-50.
Yeah, that was a great play by Milloway. It looks like he's turned it on in the fourth quarter, and Oak Ridge right now is on a 10-2 run with 5 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the fourth.
52-50 our score, 5:18 to play in the ball game. Jonathan Milloway to the free throw line. The Wildcats in the lead, 52-50. Toss on its way up there, no good. Rebound, Siegel. And then a steal momentarily by the Wildcats, then knocked out by the Wildcats. Last touch by Preston Turner on a great hustle. Oak Ridge still leads by 2 though, 52-50.
Yeah, it was a great play defensively by Preston. If we can keep this defense up, it'll shut them out for the rest of this quarter.
We're streaming this game live on YouTube right now. Look for Prep Radio. Here come the Stars all the way down the floor to Marsh. Marsh drives in, blocked by Milloway. And guess a foul is called. A foul's called, I guess, on a hack by Jonathan Milloway. Looked like there was contact on his wrist, so I'm not going to argue that one, as it'll be big Brennan Marsh at the free throw line. He's a tall, gangly player. Let's see what kind of skills he has here, though.
Yeah, hopefully, or for their sake, hopefully he can make free throws like number 14 or number 3 Wetzel, but we'll see.
Cole, who are you for here?
I'm for Oak Ridge, of course, but you know, sometimes you like to see the big guy make the free throw.
He missed that one. Cole. Back to the free throw line once again. We'll go Brennan Marsh. 52-50 the score, 5:08 to play. Second toss up, way short. That's almost an air ball. Jeremy Miller has the rebound. Here come the Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart goes in, 10-footer, good. Jonathan Stewart drops it in, and the Wildcat lead is 4. 54-50 the score, and down the floor will come the Stars. They work the ball across the line to Big Marsh. Let's see if he drives in. He walks. That's a travel. Good defense by Jonathan Milloway. Oak Ridge by 4. 54-50 the score. 4:48 to play in the ballgame. Here come the Wildcats. Preston Turner with it across the line. Preston dribbles right, gives it into Milloway. Back to the goal. Cannot shoot the ball. Knocked out by Siegel. 4:40 to play. The Wildcats were down at least 12, and they're up 4 now.
They've had this kind of intensity the whole game, and Oak Ridge hasn't given up despite their constant the leads that the Siegels have had.
Wildcat basketball. Jonathan Stewart with it over to Isaiah Johnson. Johnson harassed out high, backs up with his dribble to the midcourt circle. About to be trapped, gives it off to Jeremy Miller. 54-50 Wildcats. 4:26 to play. Oak Ridge with it. Jeremy dribbles in the paint, goes inside to Milloway. Milloway goes in for the layup. Good! Oak Ridge by 6. 56-50 the score. 4:16 to play. Here come the Stars down the floor. Shot no good. A blocking foul is going to be called against Preston Turner before the shot. That'll be the 16th foul called against Oak Ridge. So not a shooting violation. We'll give Siegel the ball along the baseline. 56-50 Wildcats. 4:14 to play in the ballgame. The ball is looped in, and here comes Schneider. Schneider one-on-one, turning, spinning, driving, shooting, good. Rolled around the rim and dropped in for him. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. They'll face full court pressure. The Wildcats will break it with ease. Isaiah Johnson throws the ball to Milloway. Milloway will drive, give it inside to Schneider, and he steps out of bounds with it. The Oak Ridge basketball underneath the goal. 3:56 to play. The Wildcats up by 4, 56-52. Oak Ridge ball. Schneider and Jeremy Miller shot. Good! Great inbounds play. And the Wildcats lead by 6. 58-52 the score. Down the floor once again will come the Stars. They'll drive in. Shot blocked and a foul's called. Wildcats on that occasion were retreating. What they should have done is just planted their feet and took the charge, and they commit the foul. And to the free throw line will go Jalen Wetzel.
Milloway has three fouls this quarter. Hopefully he won't foul out, but surprisingly the leading fouler is Williams.
They'll go to the free throw line. The first shot is up. Good. With the exception of Marsh, they have really shot the free throws extremely well. 58-53, Oak Ridge by 5. 3:47 to play in the ballgame. Second toss, good. Oak Ridge basketball.
He hasn't missed a free throw this whole game. He's 13 for 13.
Here comes Oak Ridge across the line. Preston Turner weaves through the traffic, and the Wildcats set up the offense. 3:38 to play, a 4-point Oak Ridge lead. 58-54. With the basketball will come Oak Ridge. Top of the circle, Jeremy Miller. Miller works the ball out to the top. It goes to Milloway. Back to Jonathan Stewart to Preston. Thought about getting it to a cutting Jeremy Miller along the baseline. Could not. Backs it up once again to Jonathan Stewart. 3:17 to play in the ball game. And then a whistle blows and a foul is going to be called against Isaiah Leidy. And it'll be Oak Ridge going to the free throw line. That was the 8th team foul called against the Stars, and Jeremy Miller will go to the free throw line. What has Jeremy done tonight here, Cole?
He started off slow, but now he's got, did you just make that? Yeah, he's got 17 points for the game so far, with right behind him would be Milloway with 12. 59-54,
Oak Ridge back by 5, up to the line again, good. Oak Ridge by 6, 54. Here come the Stars down the floor. 3:13 to play in the ball game. Got to get back on defense. Siegel with the basketball out to the top of the circle. Good defense. Jackson drives in. Might have walked. Goes in for the shot. Missed it. Tip no good. Again no good. Saved away by the Stars. They kick the ball around to the top of the circle. Setting up their offense. They launch a three. It's up. It's good. What a shot. 3-point shot by Jalen Witzel on a timeout as asked for by Coach Birdwell. We'll take it with him. 2:55 to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge 60, Siegel 57. Back in 60 seconds. And we also appreciate Becky and Ronnie Hayes for helping out with our sponsorship of our Christmas tournaments here. Oak Ridge by 3. The Wildcats working into Isaiah Johnson to Jeremy Miller. The Wildcats have numbers. Preston Turner, he should have given the ball into Jonathan Milloway. The Wildcats by 3, and there's a foul. A little bit too aggressive that time was Martise Jackson. The Wildcats will go to the free throw line. 2:48 to play in the ball game. 60-57. It'll be Jonathan Stewart to the free throw line. I think the kind of interesting thing about Jonathan, each time I see him at a ball game, his hairstyle is different. And he'll go to the free throw line here. He'll have one in the bonus. Here's the one. Good. That was the 9th team foul. So the next foul, Cole, puts the Wildcats at the line for the double bonus.
Yeah, that'll be great to have, especially with the 4-point lead in the fourth quarter.
That free throw is short, though. Rebounded by Schneider. 2:45 to play. 61-57. Schneider's dribbling in, fouled. And he'll shoot free throws. He's a good player. I mean, he's a good shooter. He runs the floor well. He plays good, solid defense. And he'll go to the free throw line here. 2:41 to play in the game. 4-point Oak Ridge lead. 61-57. And Matthew Schneider will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, he as well has been a great free throw shooter, but I think he's only missed 3. Knocks it down.
He'll have another one here. 61-58. The Wildcats still in the lead here. 2:41 to play. Wildcats playing with Jonathan Milloway, Jeremy Miller, Jonathan Stewart. Second toss is good. Wildcats have Isaiah Johnson in as well. The Wildcats facing a lot of pressure. Isaiah's going to work it across the line. Preston Turner. Preston's going to dribble in. Should have gone in for a layup there. As the Wildcats work it off, here it goes Miller to Jonathan Stewart. Can't walk there. Over it goes to Jeremy Miller. Wildcats on top, 61-59. 2:26 to play. Wildcats, Jeremy Miller dribbling at the midcourt line. Holds the ball, dribbles in trouble. They're trying to get them to foul him, I think, as the Wildcats working into Isaiah to Jonathan, out to Jeremy. Jeremy drives in, will not shoot, backs it up. 2:12 to play, and the reach-in foul is going to be called against Martise Jackson. I think he thought that Oak Ridge was being a little bit too nonchalant with the ball, and Preston Turner draws the 10th team foul. He'll have 2 shots here.
Yeah, right now Preston hasn't shot any free throws yet, but he has 5 points. With an impressive 5 points, honestly. That'll have been hustle layups.
Free throw is good. Preston Turner gives Oak Ridge a 3-point lead, trying to make it a 2-possession game. 62-59 the score. Preston Turner back to the free throw line for the Wildcats. Toss on its way up there. Good. Preston looked good on both of those. 2:10 to play in the ball game. Here comes the Siegel Stars down the floor. With a basketball, they'll drive the baseline. No foul there. They get a baseline jumper. No good. Rebound, Preston Turner. And he's fouled. Preston is fouled by Vontarius Reed. And Preston Turner, who just moments ago knocked down 2 free throws, will have 2 more here with exactly 2 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake to foul Preston on the free throw line after going 100%, but we'll see how that turns out.
63-59, the Wildcats by 4 to the free throw line will go Preston Turner. First of two. Good. Not as pretty that time, but it counts just the same.
Yeah, no fashion points.
He'll go back to the free throw line. Oak Ridge by 5 again, 64-59. 2 minutes to play. Preston Turner to the free throw line. Stuart Dorman, Christian Rosas Rodriguez doing camera work as he knocks down that toss. 6-point Wildcat lead, 65-59 under 2 minutes to play in the basketball game. With the basketball will come the Siegel shooting a three, no good. Rebound, Jonathan Stewart had it. They say it was last touch though by Isaiah Leidy. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. 1:50 to play. The Wildcats working into Isaiah Johnson. They've slacked off just a little bit on their pressure as Isaiah works it into Milloway. He lays it in and scores. The Wildcats break the press with ease, and it's an 8-point game. 67-59 Wildcats. With the basketball, Trayvon Bass. He works the ball around to the left side, along the baseline. They can't get a shot off. Back to Bass for three. It's banked in good, and Coach Birdwell calls a timeout. Oak Ridge by 5, 67-62. We'll take a break. We'll send it to Brian Bennett. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back once again to Webb High School. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top by 5. With the basketball, Jonathan Milloway into Isaiah Johnson. Johnson did not take the shot. Backs it up with a pass out here to Preston Turner. Preston Turner dribbling right. Gives it into Jeremy Miller. Has trouble with the dribble. Saved away by Preston. Preston comes out of there. Oak Ridge with the basketball. The Wildcats get a layup. Good. Isaiah Johnson scores. They gambled on defense, and it's back to a 7-point game. 1 minute to play in the ball game. With the basketball will come Swader. Swader on the left side. Guarded out high by Isaiah Johnson. Harass, works the ball to Schneider. Schneider pulls up, launches a three, clang off the iron, no good. Rebound to number 34, Marsh. And then a whistle blows and a foul is called against Oak Ridge. 48 seconds to play in the ball game, 69-62. And our man, Brennan Marsh, is going to go to the free throw line. Missed his last two. He's a tall, gangly kid. He looks young. Let's see what he can do here. I know you're all for him.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's 0 for 2 on free throws, 2 points for the game. Getting ready to shoot it, and close to an air ball.
The Wildcats have the rebound. Jeremy Miller with it to Isaiah Johnson. The Wildcats by 7 with the ball, 43 seconds to play, and another foul is going to be called. So it looks like the Wildcats are going to bounce back from their loss yesterday here to the home school, the Webb Spartans, and take down Siegel in 42 seconds. The Wildcats still anybody's ball game with a 7-point game with a lot of time left, but if Isaiah can knock down these free throws, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about it. Free throw on its way up there, good.
Yeah, this second half has looked like more of Oak Ridge basketball that I watched the first game against Hardin Valley. So I hope that they continue this for future games.
70-62 is our score. The Wildcats on top by 8. Big Marsh comes out of the ball game. Isaiah Johnson back to the free throw line. 42 seconds to play. Toss, no good. Rebounded by Siegel. Here come the Stars down the floor. Swader with the basketball. Dribbles right, goes in for the shot, missed it. Rebound, Oak Ridge. Coming out of there, Isaiah Johnson, the Wildcats. Isaiah dribbles right to Jeremy Miller. Stops, pops, it drops. Good. And the Wildcats lead by 10. 72-62 the score. 23 seconds to play. Here comes a long-range three. It's no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Johnson. And the game is going to come to a close. The Wildcats are going to knock off the Siegel Stars by a final score here at Webb High School of 72-62 as Siegel is defeated by Oak Ridge by 10, 72-62. That is your final score. So congratulations to the Wildcats with a big, impressive win over a really good Siegel team.
Yeah, very impressive comeback. I mean, they were down the whole game, especially with the first half score being 35-27. So great endurance by Oak Ridge.
72-62 is the final score. We'll take a break here. We're going to send it back to the station. The Wildcats win it. We'll be back to talk about it statistically, and we'll also talk to Coach Green. We'll do all that in 3 minutes. Welcome back once again to Webb High School. David Clary, Cole Adams, Stuart Dorman, Christian Roses Rodriguez, along with Brian Bennett, our engineer of the station. The Wildcats trailed this entire ball game, fell behind 9-0, fell behind double digits in the second half actually, and rallied to win by 10, 72-62. And here with the final scoring is Cole Adams.
Yes, sir. Jonathan Stewart had 8 points for the game. Kel Slater had 2. Isaiah Johnson had 14. Preston Turner had 11. Milloway had 14. And Miller had 20. Number 0 for the Siegels had 4 points. Wetzel had 21 points, 13 of them being free throws. Trayvon Bass had 3 points. Jackson had 2. Schneider had 20. Lightsley, number 23 for them, had 3 along with 4 fouls. And then Marsh had 2 points. Very impressive game by both teams, but Miller came through in the second half along with Milloway. Key blocks, key turnovers, or forcing turnovers, my bad. And yeah, back to you, David.
Thanks a lot, Cole. We're waiting for Coach Green to join us here. As I look down on the floor here at the Webb, and we didn't get to see Webb play yesterday. We were doing the girls' game, but the head coach is Ricky Norris. He was Oak Ridge's assistant coach for 8 years. He was Oak Ridge's head coach for 8 years before he went to Webb. He's assisted by Oak Ridge teacher Wesley Jones. I don't know if he's still there now, but he was for several years, former head coach at Harriman High School. And Oak Ridge basketball players, Zach Goldmeyer, brother of Spencer Goldmeyer, who's our all-time leading everything in Oak Ridge football, and James Michael, who is also a former Wildcat player. So I guess what it says is Webb cannot find any good assistant coaches without stealing them away from Oak Ridge.
Yeah, hopefully they don't steal any of our assistant football coaches like Coach Miner.
As we wait for Coach Green to join us here, the Wildcats rally. Let's talk about this game here. Early on in the game, it was a fun game to watch. I mean, honestly, from start to finish, it was one of the more entertaining games we've seen because Oak Ridge fell behind 9-0 to start the game before they ever got a bucket, and trailed the entire way. They cut it several times to 3, but then they would build it up to 7, 8, and 9, and eventually in double digits. But the Wildcats just kind of continued to play solid defense and got back into the ball game.
Yeah, the first quarter looked like it was a competition, but the second and third quarter, you would have thought the Siegels were playing against the JV team. And then the fourth quarter, it looks like Oak Ridge turned it on 100%. Miller and Milloway started making all their shots, and especially Preston with some key free throws at the end, going 4 for 4. And yeah.
Still waiting for Coach Green to join us here. I've yet to see any movement out of the dressing room. So, Brian, I'm going to send it back to you once again. 72-62 is the final score. The Wildcats knock off Siegel. We'll be back with Coach Green hopefully in 3 minutes.
Your book, you want me to just give it a run?
Jeremy said he might have had another $100. So ask him if you can get one more kid. That would be great. I don't know if we have time. You know, I know you mentioned 3.
We have 16 kids already.
Okay, so we got
I mean, no,
8 boys, 8 girls.
So you have the kids already. That's not includes mine. Okay, so all right.
You got $1,600, right?
And so you want that now? Can I trust you that
Ronnie is, I'm going out of town. Ronnie's the one that
okay.
Hey, can I see that book?
I'm curious to know his explanation on that timeout walk there.
That's great. He said you can slide as far as you want to. I said, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I don't think that's right. That guy's horrible. I've had him before.
Yeah, I know, I recognize him. I think Queener knew you were right too. Queener knew you were right too. Welcome back to Webb High School. Joining me is the head coach, of the Wildcats, Coach Aaron Green. Coach, it's good to see you. I'm glad we're talking about this game last night. Let's talk about last night's game in a minute, but let's talk about tonight, obviously. Fell behind 7 or 9 points. I think it was like 9-0 maybe to start the ball game. Some turnovers, and frankly, Coach, you had opportunities really to keep it, and you did keep it close all the way, but you had opportunities to take the lead earlier than you actually did. Miss a lot of point-blank shots, get little bunnies in the paint, turned the ball over a lot. There was a lot of fouls called, and man, Webb can shoot the free throws. I mean, one kid was 13 of 13. Yeah, Siegel was, yeah, I'm sorry. And but, you know, you got to be proud of your guys, because even though you were down, I think it was might have even been 12 at one point in the second half, you just kept making plays, making stops on defense, making plays, making better passes, making better decisions, communicating better, and all those things resulted in a 10-point win.
Yeah, you know, I'm really proud of our guys. I mean, we took one on the chin last night, David. I know you wasn't here, but we just got beat pretty good, and I mean, really got exposed, and just, you know, and really didn't respond, you know, last night like I wanted them to when adversity hit. First time we've had adversity, first good team we've really played. I thought a really good team. But I'll tell you, just to talk about this game, I knew we would show up this game. We had shoot around at 10:30. Without me doing any of this, our guys met at Chick-fil-A at 9 a.m. for breakfast, and they were in the gym at 9:30. We had to shoot around 10:30. They were in the gym as a team, working, shooting, had the gun out, getting a lot of shots, had one-on-one in, all on their own. And I don't know if in my 10 years I've been in Oak Ridge, I've had a team do that. And that tells me they care, and that tells me that they want to get better, and they responded. So, I mean, obviously last night at halftime of the game last night and after the game, you know, I was on them pretty good. I mean, I challenged some guys. I didn't like body language. I didn't, you know, effort wasn't what it should be, and, you know, and we just kind of had one of those meetings where I was just straight with them and told them, you know, look, it's the first good team we played, and we, you know, we're not anywhere near where we need to be, and that's why we play good teams, and how you're going to respond today. And they showed me that this morning by being there at 9:30.
Yeah, this Siegel team is really good, and, you know, I know with Dyron as a coach, they're going to be well coached too, and they had some athletes, they had some length. The number 14 is really, really good player, and the other kid, like I said, 13 for 13. They didn't have a great post presence in the number 34, but their free throw shooting were good. So you had to play really near the top of your game to beat them.
Yeah, and you know, they're coming, and they're like, kind of like us. Only got one senior, and Dyron obviously does a good job. I mean, they beat a Mount Juliet team on Tuesday at their place that had beat them by 16 at Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet, I think, was ranked the third best team in Middle Tennessee, and they beat them at their place on Tuesday. And they've played a really, really tough schedule. As you know, in Murfreesboro, it's a gauntlet. I mean, you got Blackman, Oakland. You know, they've just played a brutal schedule, and they got a good team. I mean, obviously, I think number 14 is probably one of the better players in Middle Tennessee. He can play. He's got good size. Their point guard struggled a little bit today. I thought we had a lot to do with that. Zero, let's see, Swader, and then obviously Wetzel can play, and we held him down a little bit. He made a three late, but yeah, it's a good basketball team. I mean, you know, they'll be, their district is Blackman, Oakland, them, and Laverne are probably the top 4 teams. Any one of those 4 teams can make the state tournament, so that's a state tournament caliber team that we played today, and it feels good just to respond from yesterday, because yesterday was not a good day for Oak Ridge. But like I said, I'm proud of them for how they responded, and when you face some adversity, you got 2 options. You can go lay down or you can fight back, and we fought back today.
Tell me about last night's ball game briefly.
Yeah, you know, last night, obviously, Webb's got a really good team. I mean, they won the small division private school state championship last year. You know, they're a hard cover, because you'll watch them a little bit here. They all can shoot it. They all can. Most of them can drive it. Their post-man their 5-man made 4, 5, 6 threes last night. It's just a hard matchup for us, you know, and they did a good job guarding us. We played a little bit on our heels. I mean, we played bad. They had a lot to do with it. I mean, we just, you know, just one of those games where, you know, what could go wrong went wrong, and turned it over. We had to way too many turnovers, you know, missing bunnies. Just, you know, you name it, it happened. And you know, as you know, Dave, you've been around this long enough, you're going to have some games where you you don't play your best, and we didn't play very good last night against a good team, and it showed in the final score. But again, I think Webb's probably one of the better teams in this area. But they're hard to guard because they can shoot it and drive it, and they're like Coach Norris does a good job. But yeah, they're solid. They don't look like much, but they can shoot it, handle it, pass it, and they got a really good team.
Coach, they're about to have a very loud PA announcer jump in on us here. So you got CPA 27th, 9 o'clock Eastern time ball game on their home floor.
Yeah, I hadn't obviously watched the whole lot on them yet. I've got just some, verbal scouts about them. Obviously, Drew Maddox, who I played against when I was at Tennessee, played at Vanderbilt, does a great job. And they've on their home floor again, kind of like playing Webb on their home floor. It'll be the last game. They shoot it really well, probably similar to Webb. We'll have to obviously play well. We'll give our guys 3 or 4. We'll give guys 4 days off here for Christmas. We'll practice on the 26th and play on the 27th.
Coach, have you done the Christmas giveaway yet?
It's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So we got 16 kids that are coming to Walmart at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and so one of the things we finished up discussing in the locker room today. So that's a good opportunity for our guys to take those guys around shopping and get the feeling of giving here around Christmas.
It's just your final comments on today's win.
Heck of a win. I know we haven't really talked about individuals. I thought Jeremy Miller, didn't score the first quarter. He'd been struggling a little bit. Obviously played bad at Clinton for his standards. He had 20 points tonight. I thought Jonathan Milway yesterday was really the only guy I thought that played hard and did some things. He had 17 today. Isaiah Johnson, I thought, was a difference today. Didn't do much yesterday. Had 13 points, and often Jonathan Stewart had 10. So we got to have that balance, and we pressed them today just because that's who we are. Yesterday we didn't start out in it. That was probably a bad job of coaching on my part. But again, just a good win against a good team, and it's a good thing to get going into Christmas.
Coach, thanks a lot, and have a Merry Christmas.
You too, David. Thank you.
It's Aaron Green, the head coach of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge victorious tonight over the Siegel Stars by a final score of 72-62. That is your final score. That about does it here from Webb High School. The Wildcats victorious. As we mentioned, the Lady Wildcats lost their ball game today by 10 down in Myrtle Beach. Their next ball game will be the day after Christmas, 1 o'clock against Cocke County. We'll have the YouTube streaming and the audio broadcast on prepradio.com and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. Our next broadcast of Oak Ridge boys basketball will be 9 o'clock Eastern time. Brian, I said it, 9 o'clock Eastern time from Nashville, Tennessee on the 27th of December. And we'll have the broadcast on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. That about does it here for Stuart Dorman, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, and Cole Adams. This is David Clary saying Merry Christmas, everybody, and so long, everybody.
Ow.